Everyone, my name is JD and this is my channel Frost and Forest. So today I'm very excited because I just received my White Hare Wisdom Oracle deck. This is a deck that I backed on Kickstarter, and this is the newest edition of this deck. Now, I'm just gonna say I absolutely love these decks. These are some of my very favorite Oracle decks ever. And so I was really excited when I heard that they were doing a re-release. I don't know if that's a thing for cards or not, but doing a new edition of this deck because the original version, this one, was my very first deck that I got of theirs. So today I'm not only going to be exploring the new deck that I'm really excited about, but I'm also going to look at how it compares to the original version. Realistically, I love both of these decks, so I am not planning on getting rid of either of them. But I was just curious how things have changed. That's something I like to look at, and so I thought other folks might be interested in it as well. So as you can see, the two boxes are a little bit different. This one is a little bit thicker, which the new one, this one, is a little bit thicker, which doesn't surprise me because they added a few extra cards and they changed the guidebook a little bit, and so it makes sense that it would be a little bit thicker. The box has also changed. If you've seen some of their other decks, this box kind of matches better with some of their other Matlock decks. It's going to look more like it's part of the other decks. So that's kind of cool. But let's take a look at the cards. Okay, so as you can see, they both come with a guidebook. And like I suspected, the new guidebook is a little bit thicker. That doesn't surprise me. One of the reasons why I love these decks so much is because each card has a story behind it and then sort of a moral of a story. And so with this original one though, they made it closer to like an Oracle deck. And so this reads more like an Oracle deck meeting than a story. Whereas for this one, they have kind of, you know, the classic story, I think. And then like the other one, they sort of have this like moral of the story at the end. So I'm excited to check one of the cards out. I'll pull one of the cards at the end so we can see how the new stories go. Okay, so now we're gonna take a look at the cards. So you can see that the backs have changed. This is the original. This is the new edition. These backs kind of match the other decks a little bit more. It's not common for there to be a character on the back of these decks. So this, the new backs definitely kind of match the decks more. Okay. And then as far as the cards, so let's take a look at the cardstock. This is very cardboardy. It's very cardboardy. I have to be careful when I shuffle it that I don't bend it. And this is a very well-loved deck. I've loved it a lot. So some of my cards are actually chipping a little bit on the original version. So that's much more cardboardy. This is much smoother and feels a little bit more bendy. It's got a little bit more give there. So the cards look very similar. Usually, or with the other decks, there's usually just a keyword on the cards, and so I think that this is trying to be closer to what some of their other decks look like, of just kind of a keyword, but these were the words that were kind of the biggest part. And so these words right here are words that are kind of a part of the language of this world. So you kind of learn some of the words for these, for this deck as you go along. The cards look very similar. The new one does have a few extra cards, I believe, so it'll be exciting to see what they look like. This deck also does have sort of like suits. So right now we're in the suit of Hare, and you can kind of see that with the borders, because these borders will change as we go through different suits. So now let's take a look at the cards. I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards. Breathe. Okay, so it looks like we have one of our new cards here. I'm just kind of trying to check this out a little bit. Okay, so somehow we got out of order. Okay, so stargazing. It does seem like the colors are a little bit lighter. Oh, and then the other thing is they are about the same size. Yeah, they're about the same size. The original version is maybe a titch wider. But yeah, they're beautiful. And then cleansing. This border is a lot lighter on the newer edition. Seems like they're maybe not in the same order, but that's okay. I put them back in the suit. Oh, so this card has changed. I like that. I like that edition of Ursula. I guess I didn't really say this, but this whole deck centers around Ursula, the white hair. So I like that they add Ursula to this one. And then that. Okay, so these might be out of order. I guess we'll figure it out. So passion. I do kind of like that they changed the order of the keywords on this. So let's see. There we go. So that the keyword is the first word instead of the word in that language. Protection. There's that. That's such a cool card. Okay, so it seems like the cards are in a slightly different order. So they're, oh, I love how the moon has a kind of a lighter, brings out more light in this card. And this is a great card. I love this card. It really focuses on, you know, having the courage to do the hard things. And that courage doesn't mean not being afraid. It just means being able to get through it. So I think this is a beautiful card. Okay. I'm gonna go through and put these back in order. Okay. We are back, and now I have put the cards in the same order so we won't have to keep stopping and doing this. So anyway, now we are on to the water suit here. And this is another one of my favorite cards in this deck, because the whole idea behind this card is sometimes it's just I don't know how to say that word, Spralger day. Sometimes it's just one of those days. And the whole point is some days you just have this Spralger. We're just gonna call it Spralger. I don't know if that's right. But sometimes you just have a Spralger in your hat. And it's not gonna necessarily be a great day for you or for the Spralger, because no one particularly likes it. And so sometimes you just gotta get through those kind of days the best you can. And so I love that, because I think we all have those days where it's just like, you know, today's not my day, but I gotta get through it. Creativity. Oh, so they did change this one a little bit. They changed the keyword from creativity, or they changed it from play to creativity. Flow. Intuition. Release. color. This is another great card because it basically says, don't be afraid to be yourself. If you want a fancy hat with color, have a fancy hat with color. So this is one that has changed from so this is a card that was in the original deck and I couldn't find it in the new deck. So I just kind of paired it up with one of the new cards. So it seems like in this suit of, I believe this is Earth. Yeah, this is the Earth suit. They changed some of the cards altogether. Hidden. This is another one of those that this is a new card and I couldn't find these two cards in the other deck. So I just kind of showed them together. Ingredients. I'll be curious to know what this is about. Nurture. I love Ursula's red boots. Full moon card. So this one has been lightened up. This is the Spirit suit, I believe. And so it's added the colors, or the colors are lighter, whereas this is more blue and that's more gray. Meditation. So this is one of the new cards because they did add a few new ones. And then Receive. This is another good card that sometimes, this is very much a self-care card. Sometimes you got to take care of yourself. This is another new one, Familiar. And then Keep Your Path Clear. Okay, so now we're on to the witch cards. These cards very much center around Ursula the Hare. I love this card too. This is a great card. Sometimes you just have to rise above, even though it's scary and hard. Sometimes you just have to rise above. So this card has changed. The art is different. Interesting. And they took Ursula out of this card. Okay, and this is a new card as well. Truth. And then Wand. And then lastly, we have cards for all of the, I guess they're called Sabbats, but all of the kind of like witchy holidays throughout the year. Oh, so they changed the Yule card. Return of the Light. That makes me a little bit sad because I really liked this Yule card. But this one is also great and their art is always amazing. So I'm not mad about it, but I did really like this Yule card. This is a fun card too. It just talks about, you know, sometimes you really have to sit on something for a while before you make the right choice. Oh, the offering card changed. I like this offering card a lot. I like, you know, this feels like sort of like after the bonfire, which doesn't always feel like, you know, for me, Beltane always seems like a very fiery holiday that has a lot of energy. And so having it kind of as the fire is going out doesn't seem to represent it as much. So I like that this one takes place while the celebration is happening and the fire is still going. Bask. Ooh, I do like this new Bask card. This is kind of a simple card, and so I like the new artwork for this one. Interesting. So they changed the keywords and the art for this. Gratitude, harvest. That makes a little sense to me because I usually think of harvest as like Mabon or even Samhain. So I like that they made this one gratitude. Balance. This one is rest. This one is balance. And there we go. That is the end. So I'm gonna shuffle the new deck and read a card and read a story so you can get a feel for it. Okay. This one shuffles a lot better than the old one. Okay, wand it is. I'm really excited to see how the new guidebook reads, because in the past this deck was more like a regular oracle, whereas I think they changed it to be more like some of the other Wandwood decks, that it's more like a story. So here is the reading for wand. To this day, I still remember the first time I ever held my wand. My mpa had chosen and gifted it to me, gently placing it in my trembling paws. My young Hare's eyes widened as the tip began to frizz bright blue. I felt like the most grown-up witch that had ever cast a magical spell. This wand is power, Ursula, she calmly told me, but magical power never really belongs to anyone or anything. No matter how long you live, no matter how many moon turns or seasons passed you by, you will never be its mistress. You must learn the most important of all things, when to wield your wand and when to put it away, for it will never give you the power, only choices. Making the right one, however, is something you'll slowly learn over time, and that learning always comes from you. Never, ever your wand. I have never forgotten to abide by those words out of respect for her and the magic she talked about. For to have magical powers is very different from knowing when to use them. The same is true of any wand you may have. Its magical strength is only made possible by your choices. My wand can help bring joy to others, sort disputes, solve problems, and create brand new possibilities. But as with any tool, its efficiency is in the paws of the wielder. I've genuinely lost count of the number of times and situations in which I would have used my wand, but kept it robed, intuitively sensing it was neither the time or the place for me to use it. The same, of course, is true of any tool, power, or skill you possess. Each is a gift for your care. Knowing when to use them wisely and for good purpose requires practice and experience to be confident in the choices you make. This takes time, but gradually you'll learn to become one with whatever wand you wield. A good friend of mine has no wand, instead wielding the finest diplomatic skills I've ever witnessed, diffusing arguments, stimulating debate, and encouraging solutions through reason, humor, and her ability to listen. Parlowitch is her wand, and great magic has come from it. Whatever your wand is, know when you need to use it and learn when you need to wait. For this is the magical truth of any power. Wisdom gained and applied through the lens of your own experience and efforts and its effects on others. Now we're at the sort of lesson of the story. Trust in yourself, learn when and how to use your power for good. For you are the real magic behind any wand. So that's really sweet. And that is much more of a story than the original card. Because yeah, if you look at it here, it reads, you can see here, it kind of reads more like an oracle deck. This is from the original. And so they've turned it more into a story here. Is what I have to share with you today. I'm really excited about this new deck. I think it's awesome. As I said, these are one of my favorite decks in the whole wide world, so I always recommend them, especially if you're looking for something sweet to read. If you've enjoyed this video, I would love it if you could like or follow me. I'm making a lot of tarot content. I share new decks that I've gotten. I do comparison videos like this. I also love doing VRs to kind of showcase some of my decks. So if that's the kind of thing you're interested in, you might want to subscribe. And thanks for stopping by.